Welcome back to the IBSP. Here's your host, Foxy New.
The world's dumbest Canelo Alvarez hater exposed. And look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And I had a subscriber send me this. This guy name is Gritty Was Here. The guy looks like he has a face full of pubic hair. That's a damn shame. But they need to change his name from Gritty Was Here to Dummy Was Here. And this is why. This guy said Canelo Alvarez run to avoid David Benavidez. And he lists Canelo Alvarez undisputed run. So you think that Canelo Alvarez going on an undisputed run, fighting prime undefeated world champions, and going undisputed in 11 months was a way to duck David Benavidez? This guy is absolutely a moron, idiot, and a dummy. Going undisputed is impossible to duck anyone. Fighting all the champions is impossible to duck anyone. This guy is simply a moron. Not only that, the fact that he brings up Avani Yildirim as a part of a routine or a way for Canelo to duck David Benavidez makes no sense, because that was David Benavidez mandatory before it was Canelo's. And what's funny is David Benavidez had no problem lining up the Yildirim fight. And I'm sure this guy would have kissed David's ass for fighting Yildirim. I mean, let's just be honest and unbiased. If you're going to be a David Benavidez fan, do your research, dumbass. See, this guy only became a Benavidez fan once Canelo moved up to 168 so he could claim he was ducking. I mean, let's just be honest and unbiased about this. These guys are morons. And please, zip up David Benavidez's pants when you're done. I'm sure his wife wants some. Let's just be real about this. Then we get to his list where he says Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol destroys your entire point of saying that Canelo Alvarez is ducking David Benavidez. It destroys the entire point. Dimitri Bivol was a prime, undefeated world champion when Canelo fought him, and he was the best statistical defensive fighter in boxing when Canelo fought him. So how is Canelo ducking David Benavidez by fighting a much more dangerous and skilled fighter in Dimitri Bivol? That makes no sense. This guy's a dumbass. Canelo Alvarez challenging himself to be great is ducking David Benavidez? Makes no sense. Please, guy, get off your knees. And then look, let's get to the next one. Then he talks about John Ryder. John Ryder was the mandatory, you dumbass. He enforced it and got the Canelo fight. So please, wipe your mouth off, you filthy animal. But then let's keep it going. Then he brings up Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo was replacing Jamal Charlo because he needed more time to get in shape. That's why Canelo ended up fighting him. He was a last-minute replacement, in case you did not know that. See, here's the thing that we have here. David Benavidez lobbied to fight Jamal Charlo. David Benavidez lobbied to fight Jaime Munguia. David Benavidez lobbied to fight Edgar Berlanga, but nobody had a problem with David trying to fight Berlanga, Munguia, or Charlo. But they all got a problem with Canelo doing it. It doesn't make any sense. If Canelo's beating all the champions, he can fight who he wants without a problem. But when David wants to fight these guys, it's not a problem. But when Canelo does, it's an issue. It makes no sense. You've seen all of last year, David Benavidez moved up to 175 and decided to campaign there, all the while calling Canelo Alvarez a duck. So you move to a different weight class, call Canelo a duck, and then when the time comes, you refuse to activate your mandatory. This guy never wanted a Canelo Alvarez fight, and it's as simple as that. So when you talk about Munguia and Berlanga, at the end of the day, David decided to spend his whole entire time at 175. When was Canelo supposed to fight you? When? You were at another weight class and you declined the mandatory. So when was Canelo supposed to fight you? This guy narrative doesn't make any sense. And now he's talking about a little Bud Crawford at 147. That makes no sense, because when you look at it, David Benavidez just came out and said, hey, he's no longer chasing Canelo Alvarez fight. He let the fight go. He's no longer interested in the fight, and he will not be pursuing Canelo any further. So the fact that you're still saying Canelo's ducking a guy who came out and blatantly told your dumbass that he don't want the fight and he's no longer interested in it because he cannot go back down to 168, but you're still saying that he's looking to duck? It makes no sense. Look, this is Canelo Alvarez hate for one of the dumbest people I've ever seen.